Nora Patel learned the names of the instruments before she learned the surgeons' names, because metal is honest if you listen. Kerrison Rangoor, Adson forceps, Sen retractors. A tray that sounded like rain when you shook it wrong. Starlight Surgical Center sat north of downtown Austin in a building that had once been a mortgage office and now pretended to be a hospital with better coffee. Nora took the night shift in sterile processing because nights were quiet and because quiet had become something she could hold without dropping. Orientation said sterile processing techs were the heart of the OR. The OR said, when doors were closed, dishwashers. Nora didn't mind as long as the autoclaves told the truth. Steam at 270 F, 4 minutes exposure, proper dry time, chemical integrators that turn black when the heat goes where it's supposed to go, biological indicators, tiny ampules of bacteria tougher than you that must die if the cycle deserves to call itself sterile. Her supervisor, Tammy, had a laugh like bubble wrap and a calendar that worshipped turnover time. "We're a machine, honey," she said on Nora's first night, pushing a cart of wrapped trays toward the pass-through. If we slow down, patients wait, surgeons yell, and I get emails that smell like money. She winked at the autoclave panel. "We cheat a little on weekends." "How do you cheat steam?" Nora asked. "You don't," Tammy said. "You cheat time." She tapped the dry timer down with a nail. "Close enough." Nora listed the times in tidy numbers anyway. She peeled integrators, logged lot codes, cracked ampules for the weekly biological test, and tucked them into the incubator like eggs. The incubator glowed amber, then green, reassuring as a stoplight. She slept during the day with a fan and an eye mask and the conviction that clean was a verb, not a vibe. The first wrong note came on a Friday, 11:38 p.m. Ortho, late start. A VIP spine case had pushed the schedule. A small mountain of trays came down from OR3 with the kind of urgency money buys. "Flash them," the circulating nurse said through the pass-through, eyes already back on her phone. "We're closing at midnight." "Immediate 2 steam sterilization is for emergencies," Nora said. "Not schedule." "Everything's an emergency if the surgeon says it is," the nurse sang, and slid the paperwork with boxes already checked. Nora loaded the autoclave with the instruments they insisted were urgent, and placed a chemical integrator and, because her hands knew how to be disobedient, a biological indicator too. She ran the cycle and watched the panel lie exposure. 3 Jammer dry. 0 Dwandos complete. Tammy had set a program labeled Starlight Quick. The integrator turned black. The BI would need hours. The OR called every 5 minutes. "Release?" "Not until the BI reads," Nora said. Tammy appeared, lipstick brave, keys jangling. "Honey, we don't BI flashes." "We do tonight," Nora said, surprising herself with the steadiness in her voice. "You trying to write me up?" "I'm trying not to put bacteria inside a human spine." Tammy leaned in, voice sweet. "Sign off the tray. I'll take the heat." She pointed to the digital log Sterilog sync, where cycles uploaded themselves by Wi-Fi and appeared in green. "See? Pass." Nora watched the screen populate pass for a cycle that had barely dried. The panel timestamp and the log timestamp didn't match by a minute. A minute is enough for a lie to dress itself. At 1:06 a.m., the BI glowed positive in the incubator window, the little strip going cloudy like a conscience. Nora held it up. "Fail!" Tammy's smile dropped like a tray. She picked up her phone, tapped, and the cycle in Sterilog Sync turned from pass to void to pass again, with a note. "Operator error indicator contaminated." "I didn't contaminate it," Nora said. "Steam didn't penetrate. The tray's dirty." Tammy sighed. "You've been here 3 weeks. I've been here 12 years. Do you see infections walking back through this door? No. The patients go home. You go home. Everyone sleeps." Nora didn't. The next day, she drove to Heb and stood in the cereal aisle, reading a journal article about immediate use sterilization on her phone like a secret. Monday morning, Dr. McCall in Ortho posted a triumphant Instagram of a spine X-ray and a caption that thanked the Rockstar team. Nora zoomed in. She recognized a tray she had run Starlight Quick. She put her phone in the freezer for a minute because cold is an old trick when you want to feel like a better animal. Weeks turned into muscle memory, peel, load, log. The autoclaves laughed at standards on Saturdays. Sterilog Sync learned to assign Nora's initials to cycles she didn't start. When she checked the audit trail, it said, "Batch correction by admin." She printed the logs at 3 a.m. and took them home in a folder labeled cookies because sometimes secrecy looks like dessert. Then patients started calling back, not to sterile processing. Nobody calls the basement but to the pre-op nurse who gossiped in the break room. 2 superficial infections, likely skin flora. 1 deep infection, probably patient factors. Dr. McCall grimaced in the hall and said, "Community Marseille," and ordered more antibiotics in a voice that liked itself. Nora placed a BI in every load for a week. Tammy told her to stop wasting supplies. Nora kept placing them. 3 failed across 2 nights, all on Starlight Quick. Tammy voided 2 in the log and called the 3rd an anomaly. Nora took photos. The BI ampule, the incubator screen, the autoclave panel, the Sterilog Sync page with the flicker where pass landed too fast. On a Thursday audit, a vendor rep from Sterilog showed up in a polo and a smile with adjustable sincerity. He clicked into the back end like a man unlocking a diary he had sold you. "Sometimes the Wi-Fi timestamps get out of phase," he said. "We're launching auto-attest. If the door reaches temp, the log can mark pass and you can verify indicators later." "Later?" Nora asked. "Pass first, verify later?" "It improves workflow," he said. "Surgeons love it." "Patients can't see your dashboard," Nora said, "but they can see their stitches." He laughed the way men laugh when they want a room to keep liking them. "Compliance is green. The rest is optics." That night, Starlight got busy the way greed does. 4 rooms, turnover mania, an ortho surgeon who said, "We can't push this to Monday. The patient's a CEO. Like money makes microbes polite." The call light on the pass-through blinked nonstop. "Need 2. Large mayo. Need power. Handpieces now. Need screwdriver set stat." Nora loaded, and killed Starlight. Quick on both autoclaves by holding the key combo she wasn't supposed to know. She selected the full 4-minute. Full dry, full cool cycles, and then stood there while OR3 knocked on the door like a toddler. "Release," the circulating nurse sang. "Clock says no," Nora said. Tammy arrived, cheeks red. "What did you do?" "Standard cycle," Nora said. "Per AMI." "AMI doesn't pay our rent," Tammy said, and pounded the door release override with her palm. "We built a facility with Quick in mind." "We built it on the lie that steam is faster when you ask," Nora said. At 12:42 a.m., the OR manager stormed in with a badge that can make phones go quiet. "If you hold another tray, I will personally escort you out," she said. "Dr. McCall has a patient open." "Then close," Nora said, and heard how the word sounded in the air, like a slap, like a prayer, like a firing. Tammy stepped between them. "Go upstairs," she told the manager. "I'll handle it." Then to Nora, low, "If you want to die on a hill, don't choose stainless steel." "People die on heels of stainless steel all the time," Nora said. Tammy's phone buzzed. She read, paled. "Post-op infection readmitted. Deep." She looked at Nora, then at the autoclave, then at the log where pass appeared without asking permission. "Run your PIs," she said. "Every load." They did. 2 failed. The manager didn't come down. She sent messages like weather. The vendor rep returned in the morning with a firmware stick and a word salad. Tammy told him to sit. Nora brought coffee and her stack of printed logs. She pointed at the flickers. Auto attest is marking pass at door temp, not exposure, she said. That's why your timestamps are magic. He kept smiling. We'll patch. You'll testify, Nora said, and clicked record on her phone. He stopped smiling. By noon, the state had a complaint. Nora had sent it at 3 a.m. Shaking. By 3, an inspector named V in sensible shoes arrived with a clipboard and a memory for people like Nora who think rules are a love language. She swabbed, asked questions with verbs in them, and opened the Sterilog backend with a code that made the vendor rep swallow. Auto-attest is not an approved equivalence, she said calmly. All immediate use cycles must have indicators read prior to release. She looked at Nora. Thank you for keeping paper. The OR went quiet that afternoon, not in fear but in recalibration. Dr. McCall paced like a caged investment. The CEO canceled his case and posted about safety culture, which is how rich people digest humility. Tammy cried in the locker room for a minute, then put on lipstick and wrote a new whiteboard schedule, like a person who had decided to be a better animal. They pulled Starlight quick. They added dry time back. They put BIs in trays like rosaries. For a week, infections did not show up, because infections arrive late and like to be ambiguous. But the staff changed. The circulators said thank you at the pass-through. The surgeons stopped ripping wraps with their teeth. The OR manager learned to say, we'll wait, and the word we felt like daylight. 2 weeks later, the board met. They offered Nora a day shift lead, which was either a promotion or a muscle. She took nights instead, with a raise, and asked for a new incubator and a new habit. Every Friday, the state inspector could drop by without calling. The administrator didn't like it. The patients didn't know. That was okay. On a Sunday morning, Nora bought kolaches for the night crew and taped a sign above the autoclave panel, written in her neat hand. Numbers are a tool, not a truth. She added a smaller sign above the incubator window. She lives here now. Someone drew a little skull with a bow. The room laughed the way rooms do when they survive themselves. And when a new tech asked why they wait for the green light even when the surgeon is a big deal, Nora told the story without names, with verbs and steam, and a night when she chose to be the brake. The autoclave hissed like approval. The incubator glowed like patience. The instruments came out dry and honest. Somewhere, a spine healed at the speed a body prefers, which is slower than money but more permanent.